Hurdle theorem in the last class. We try to continue the same thing. I know many of you would have may have some clarifications or doubts or something with Hurdle theorem. Hurdle theorem is used to convert a given finite automata to regular expression. I said it is finite automata, so it can be DFA or NFA. Doesn't matter. We can convert both. Fine. So when you talk about the word conversion, that too with respect to finite automata to regular expression, you should be in a position to understand how it look like. And remember, as and when number of states increases, if you have two states or if you have three states, writing expression may be quite easy. But as and when the number of states increases, say 4, 5, or 10, and so on, identifying the regular expression itself is difficult. Because of that purpose, we go for these theorems to understand. If it is one or two states, you can easily say what is the expression accepted there. Can anybody say what type of strings accepted here, or what are the strings accepted from this automata? 0, 0, 0, yes, 1, 0, 0, yes, true. Okay, good. Hope you could able to figure out at least what strings are getting accepted. Happy for that. So now we need to just check the same thing when we write expression also. That's one important thing we should observe. Considering every state, how do I reach that state? List out how do I reach the state. So for that purpose, we start with the state Q1. Q1 is initial state, we know that. And remember, for initial state, we include epsilon also as the string because automata starts with from the initial state. So obviously, without accepting any input symbol also, we will be in the same state. We will be in the same state, initial state. So for that purpose, we need to have epsilon as the input string. Along with that, we need to just check how are we reaching that particular state. Fine. Now you can reach Q1 with two options. One is in the state Q1 with the input symbol 1 we are reaching. Second, from the state Q2 with the input symbol 1. So it is Q1 1 and Q2 1. So you have two options there. So whenever you have two options, we go for plus. Anyhow, you know, plus is used for either or operation. So it is Q1 1 or Q2 1. Don't read it as Q11 and Q21. It is Q1 1 and Q2 1. Similarly, it is Q2. Q2 it is Q0 plus Q2 1. That's clear? It is Q3 1, sorry. Yeah, it is Q3 1. Then for Q3, it is Q3 0 plus Q2 0. Is that clear? Step 2 should be elimination and reduction. That's what we say. That's one way. Or you can also say substitution. Whichever you want, you can use. That is what we do there. So now, consider Q3. Normally, we go from Q3 onwards to Q1. Again, we come back. And we stop at that point, whichever is the final state. And either you do this or state elimination, it's better to remove all dead states before starting. Before dead state doesn't yield any expressions there. So you can simply remove that. Even here, since I don't have dead state, I didn't continue anything there. So now let's say continue, consider the state Q3. That is Q3 equals Q20 plus Q30. Okay, now check this format now. It is similar to R is equal to Q plus RB, isn't it? Where you can, if you want, you can just specify that. Where Q2 0 is Q, Q3 is R, 0 is B. Can you able to make out? Yeah. Now apply the formula. What is the R is equal to Q plus RP, you should replace it with the formula R is equal to QP star. If you want, you can write stepwise also, not an issue. Until you understand, I just wrote like this. So now Q3 will be, what is Q3 now? If you apply QP star, Q is Q2 0. What is P? 0 star, definitely. So it is Q2 0 star. Yes. So now we obtain Q3. Fine. Now substitute this in Q2 and perform the operation, same operation. The same thing we did in the last class, but we missed this step. So we were stuck in the last class. So now substitute Q3 in Q1. Sorry, Q2. So it will be Q2 equals Q1 0 plus what is Q3? Q3 is Q2 0 star 1. Okay. Now again you can apply the format R is equal to Q plus RP. So you can specify what is R, which is R, which is Q here. R is Q2, Q is Q1 0, P is 0 star 1. So now again apply the formula. It is QP star. So Q2 will be equal to QP star. It is Q1 0, P is 0 star 1. So it will be 0 star 1 whole star. It's clear till now? So now substitute Q2 in Q1. So we have obtained Q2. We need to just substitute in Q1. So again, let's check it out. Q1 equals epsilon is anyhow there. Epsilon plus Q1 1 plus what is Q2? It is Q1 0 star 1 whole star. I am just giving space for our understanding. It's not required to give space. If sigma was AB or XY, it was easy for us to remember. Since it is 0, 1, you may get little confusion with that. So for that purpose only, I'm just using spaces there. So now, for a while, we can just wait for epsilon. We can consider the other part of the expression Q1 1 plus Q1 0 star 1 whole star, where we can just take Q1 as common and you can say it is 1 plus 1 0 sorry 0 star 1 whole star. Where 1 is missing, Deepika? No, see in this part I have just taken Q1 common, so it will be 1 from the first left expression. Here if I remove Q1, if I take Q1 as common, left out is 0 star 1 whole star. So now again you can just check out. It is as per the format what we said. It is R is equal to Q plus RP. So same thing I do. I have just substituted. Yes. Yeah, sorry for that. Q2 1 it is. I think it's proper now, Deepika. Okay. So now you apply same thing for this. R is equal to Q plus RP. If you want, we can just show the substitution part for your understanding purpose. Even in examination entrance, not required to write this, but for your understanding, I'm just writing it. R is Q1. Q is what is Q here? Epsilon. P is complete thing what we have. It is 1 plus 0 star 1 whole star 1. Yes. So now what is Q1? It's again QP star. So if it is QP star, Q is epsilon So whatever we have with this one into say P, the complete thing we take it. So this is our expression for Q1. Now back substitute Q1 in Q2 and Q2 in Q3. The question may be there why I should do this. Normally we start from the we start reverse. That's what we call it as bottom up approach. Since the states are Q1, Q2, Q3, we started from Q3. Fine. I'm not talking about final state here. Normally we start from the last state. Then we go for backtracking, I can say back substitution method. So Q3 I've solved it. I substituted Q3 in Q2. I solved it. I substituted Q2 in Q1. Now I need to check for that state, which is final state. Fine. So now final state is Q3. You can add that. Since final state is Q3, you need to do this. Suppose if final state was Q1, you would have left with this part. Or if final state was Q2, you would have only resubstituted Q1 and Q2 and stopped it. But final state is Q3, so you should go in reverse order now. I mean to say in the top down manner now. So what do we do? I just write substitute this. So you know already Q1 is this. So we write for Q2. What is Q2? Q2 was Q1 something. So I just replace Q1 here. Q1 is as it is, followed by 0, 0, 0 star 1 whole star 1. This is Q2. This I should replace in Q3. So Q3 is epsilon not required when you're ready now because the star comes into picture there, right? See, when you say epsilon, it is nothing. When you say star, see the value of Q1. Q1 is 1 plus 0, 0, 0 star 1 whole star 1 whole star. The whole star is there. Because of that purpose, star epsilon included there. Hope you remember, whenever I write A star, epsilon is also included. So for that purpose, I say epsilon only required to write. So whenever we talk about QP star, if epsilon is available in Q, or if Q is epsilon, we don't write it. We just remove it because epsilon is there available with respect to P star itself. Okay, so we got to know what is Q2. Now substitute Q2 in Q3. Q2 is so and so, lengthy expression what we have got. Q3 was Q2 0, 0 star. So now we got what is Q2 followed by 0, 0 star. See, we need to just have one interesting factor here. Check whether this is literally accepted in automata. It is accepted there. See now, you only told, many of you told what the strings accepted here. How do you check that? Start from Q0. It is not mandatory to accept 1, but there is an option, right? You can accept 1. So we say 1 or, see there? See, observe this part. 1 or is there, isn't it? Then how do you reach 0, 0? Again you say 0, 0 star, 0, 0 star. See this? You're repeating it. Okay, just use a marker. See the string, it is 0, 0 star 1. So now it is 0, 0, 0 followed by 0, 0 star. This one star 1. This repetition 1. Again 0, 0 whole star. So this will be repeating 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Keep repeating. So this part speaks about it. This is one option followed by. If suppose if you say, sir, 1 is not required, sir, then what can be done? Observe this again. See here, this part. This is star. So if this becomes epsilon, assume not an issue, it becomes epsilon, it becomes epsilon. Now check next option. See this part you just observe. It says 0, already there. Same, 0, 0 star, 1, whole star, 0, 0 star. See this part? It is so beautiful to obtain this. So I'm saying, once you apply pumping lemma, you can easily, once you apply Hardin's theorem, you can easily obtain the string that to be accepted by the automata, and that will be obviously same.